Do you ever just finally find the free time to draw whatever you want and then nothing comes to you? Or you just straight up don't have the motivation despite it being the only times you get to start that project you said you would do a month ago or even a year ago? To be honest, this summer I've been kind of lacking motivation as well. During my school times, I had so many cool projects and drawings in mind that I told myself I will do it this summer. But when summer actually started, it's been hard turning those words into actions. With my bucket list piling up one by one as the summer is going by, day by day, week by week, I'm like, oh my god, it's going by so fast. But today's the day, I guarantee you, in this video, we are going to find that motivation together. We are going to get through our art block or work on that new project you said you would, or just find motivation of anything you set out to do. Summer hasn't ended yet, and we still have time to really set out to achieve the goals we set ourselves this summer, especially with the help of today's sponsor, Skillshare. As I'm treading down my art journey, now halfway through animation school, I start to think a lot more about my future and career path, reflecting what I really want to do in the future. And one thing I realized so far is that I really enjoy doing freelance illustration, which I got to dip my toes in the past year. As I continued to plan how do I get to this further stage of my art journey, I stumbled upon the learning path Become a Freelance Illustrator Career Skills on Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry professionals from film, animation, illustration, productivity, and more. Although owning technical skills is very important, creating a brand for yourself, marketing yourself, especially if I want to pursue a route of freelance, is equally as important, but much less talked about. And through the learning path on Skillshare, where the platform curates sequential class collections to master a specific skill, I got to get advice and tips from illustration agents, creative coaches, professional illustrators, and more. Since there's still time this summer, why not learn something new by clicking my link in the description below, and the first 500 people will earn a 1-month free trial for Skillshare. Thanks so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and now let's figure out why we might be having these art vlogs together. To start, a good place is to dissect why we are feeling this art block or lack of motivation, and we can do this together. I'll go first. Not art block per se, but I definitely feel a lack of motivation this summer, and I've told my friends a lot about this, and they can also tell I'm pretty stressed about this. Although I very much love creating videos and documenting my art journey, not just for myself, but for you guys too. Since I am growing up and I'm graduating college in 2 years, I'm thinking about my career, right? And a lot of it is thinking how I can balance this and possibly push this YouTube channel even further. And because of all of that, I've been giving myself a lot of pressure. A lot of my perfectionism is starting to show, especially when I'm recording videos like this or editing or just doing anything, because I mean, how can I not? I want to make my career out of making art, and inevitably that means I want to improve in making art and content. So in return, that makes me harsher on myself so I can improve. And because of this, I've barely given myself a chance to really properly rest this summer, and I think that is probably my biggest reason to this lack of motivation and art block. It's burnt out. So that was my personal explanation after reflecting with myself. So now it's your turn to really think about why you are feeling this lack of motivation. Is it because of stress? Is it because your perfectionism is getting to you? Is it because there's too much on your plate? Or is it because you're generally just lacking in inspiration? I want you to pause this video right now and really think to yourself of why you might be feeling this way. You might even take out a journal if you want, or just go somewhere quiet, sit down alone, and really think. And once you have the answer, let's figure out some solutions we can work on together. Like the format just now, I'm going to tell you guys my proposal on how I'm going to solve my own lack of motivation right now, and then I hope you guys can follow along, and I'll give you some prompts and tips along the way. So my answer to why I have this big lack of motivation right now, although there are a lot of other factors like stress, my perfectionism getting the best of me, the main thing is the overwhelming amount of work I have, which makes it really hard to enjoy the process and take my time. And I have to rush through all these deadlines with like 3 sponsored videos and also my weekly schedule, other projects, and also I'm boothing for an entire week this summer. It's a lot. So the solution to tackle the overwhelming amount of work I have, instead of my brain really associating this as one gigantic, unsolvable, untouchable thing I have to tackle, let's break it down into smaller steps. By breaking things down into smaller tasks each day and allocating them throughout the week, things seem a little bit more manageable, and I can also reward myself after I completed each small task. Like for me, it's going to the cafe or just walking around or just like going window shopping, because I'm finally back in a big city and I really miss that. Of course, this is my own reason why I'm dealing with this lack of motivation. Now let me give you some prompts based on the different reasons why you may having this art block and lack of motivation right now. So, if you're lacking inspiration, my suggestion is going on a walk. Yes, listen to your favorite tunes and go out, go touch some grass. I feel like a lot of times we're always stuck in our own little bubble or our heads that we don't have the time to really notice the things around us, and I think noticing and really observing the things around us is actually one of the best ways to gain inspiration. And for some reason you can't go out, of course, another suggestion is to look at amazing art that inspires you. This could be Pinterest, this could be flipping through your favorite art books, this could be going on Instagram and looking at your saved folder, or anything. It does not even have to be drawing, it could be photography, it could be film, it could be watching a TV show, or whatever. My next suggestion is talk to an artist friend. This could be a friend you have in real life. I sound so chronically online after saying that, but I swear I'm not that chronically online because I don't know a lot of TikTok trends, but I just don't have TikTok. Anyways, that was a little side tangent, but if not, you can talk to your art mutuals on Instagram, on Twitter, or you can join my Discord server. Very cool. I'll link the link in the description if you want a comfy art environment. And talking to an artist friend can also ask them for critique or advice if you feel like something looks off but you can't figure out yourself. Now let's talk to a friend who is not an artist. I think this is also equally as important but much less talked about, because I think they can give you a whole new perspective. Like especially when I was going to art school and I talked to my non-artist friends, asked them for advice for my film, it gives them a whole new lens. It gives me a whole new lens on how to deal with my art and what other people that are not artists, how they would look at my art piece. Other things you can do: give yourself a really random prompt, just go on idea generator or whatever. Or you can also draw in a very different art style than you usually do. I think it also expands your art skills bubble, comfort zone. And of course you can also try a completely different new medium. My go-to is watercolor because I think it is the most like less mendoksa, what is that in English, less mafan, less of a hassle to clean up. So those are my prompts for if you have a lack of motivation. Now let's move on if you have a very bad case of perfectionism. So my advice for that, though I'm also dealing it myself, is knowing that although it's good to have a critical eye, it's another thing when it's hindering your growth. And going to a very good art school filled with the most talented peers, I can say to you, there will definitely be art flop days. I've experienced it, my friends have, all of us have, and it's okay if not everything you make is a masterpiece. Lastly, I think a lot of us feel perfectionism is because we heavily tie our art to our self-worth. It's really hard to just tell you to not do that because it takes like a very long time for you to really unpack that yourself and figure out who you are as a person, but just keep that in the back of your head for now. Okay, so the next general prompt answer is burnt out. So now let's talk about if you are having this art block because of burnout. I know, very ironic because that was my own reason as well, but really figure out when you can have a break as soon as possible, and if not, is there any way to lessen your workload right now to really give yourself your well-deserved break? Lastly, as I said in a lot of my videos, a really good way is to remind yourself why you started picking up that pen in the first place and started to draw. Recently, I asked you guys on my Instagram, which you can follow by the way, it's sakuraopal, why you guys like drawing, so I'm gonna read out some of you guys' answers. It cancels out other negative thoughts I have because I only concentrate on drawing. I draw because it makes me happy. It's simple, fun, my friends also draw, so we draw together and I love the process. It's calming and I like to see the aesthetically pleasing result. To find my voice, it makes me feel happy and calm. It lets me express my feelings in a creative way and I love it. Artistic urge to create, fire emoji, brain go brr. I draw for comfort to bring out my inner childhood aspiring artist. When I do so, I feel the most creatively fulfilled, the most whole, the most me. When I can't draw or miss it, it feels like a part of me is missing. Those are just some of the answers you guys gave on my Instagram. So also ask yourself why you like drawing, because I think it's really important to remind yourself once in a while. Especially because I go to an art school and everyone's jaded, okay? I really want to help spread the positivity and motivation and general love for drawing in an age where people start to just hate everything they do, in a sense. And my little penguin friend tells you to comment down below, why do you think you have your art block right now, what solutions you have for yourself, and let's help each other in the comment section. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope by this stage at the end of the video you have a better idea why you might be going through your art block and what steps you need to take to get one step closer to dissolving that art block. Stay tuned for next week's video. I'm going to be posting a step-by-step beginner animation tutorial video, which I think is very highly requested, so watch out for that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. The link will be in the description if you want to check out on 1 month trial. Also follow my Instagram for updates. By the time this video releases, I'm going to be having a booth in Hong Kong, so if you're interested, the information will be on my Instagram as well. See you in the next video. Bye bye!